Hi and welcome. Today I am going to cut my own hair. And this is something I've been doing for the last 10 years. I have curly hair, so I noticed that every time I came from the hairdressers, I didn't like it much. Until I came to one hairdresser that cut it like a crazy person, and I was sitting there like, what is she doing? And then it was the best haircut I ever had. So I was like, I can do this myself. And so it all started. What I'm going to use is a scissors that isn't necessarily a hairdresser's scissors. It is this one. It's just a normal scissors. You could use official hairdresser's scissors. That would even be better. Maybe I'll get one of those someday. I'm doing it with this one. It's just a paper scissors, and it's never been used for anything else than cutting my hair, so it's really sharp. And that's the most important thing. I think that your scissors need to be really sharp. Second of all, I have curly hair, so I'm not telling you to cut your own hair. But if you want to try and you have curly hair, because if you do this with straight hair, it will look like shit. So please don't. But if you have curly hair, maybe you can watch how I do it, and then if you really want to and you are bold enough, you can try and do it yourself. So I'm going to show you how I am cutting my own hair. Okay, so this is before, and what I don't like about how it's right now is that because it's getting too long and heavy, on top of my head it gets all flat and fuzzy, and there's not much model in it, so I need to layer it a bit more. So I want to make the top layer a bit shorter. And I'm gonna leave the length. Once I did a curly bob, and then I cut it myself, first up to here, and then after 2 days I dared to cut it like this. And that's not something I'm going to do right now. So first I think I'm just gonna model it a bit and make it more layered, so it will curl up a bit more and give me a little bit more of volume on top of my head.
Now, as you can see, I'm starting off with dry hair, and that's because I'm not just cutting my hair, I'm actually sculpting it. So I'm looking at the overall form and shape of my hair, and then I decide which curls I need to shorten. Now, because I want that nice textured layered look in my curls, I'm just starting on the top layer of my hair, and as I go down every layer, I'm just keeping my hair a little bit longer as I go down, so I'm getting that nice and layered look to it. So what I mainly do is I'm looking really good at how my curls are falling and which curls to cut. Now, once you've decided which curl you want to cut and on which length, you twist the curl around your finger, taking your hair scissors and then cutting it down the line, down the curl, and that way you get a really nice textured cut. So don't try and cut it straight because it will look terrible. You really want to cut it down the line. So basically you are repeating the same thing over and over again, and that is just shaking out your hair, looking at the different curls, then deciding which curl should go shorter, and then twisting it and cutting it. Shaking, looking, twisting, cutting. And that's basically it. And this is the way that hairdresser did it with my hair 10 years ago. And until this day I am doing it myself this way, and it never failed me. Of course it is a process, so every time you do this for yourself, you will get better at it and you will get to know your own hair better. So it's really a process where you slowly are daring to cut more. And of course at first I started off really insecure, and I didn't dare to cut my hair that much, but now I'm not as afraid anymore. I know these are curls, and if I I'm cutting something a little bit too short, it's just one curl in a sea of curls. So it will just not be noticeable at all. So yeah, I'm just looking, twisting and cutting. Now, as curls tend to group together, I also wanna see what it does when I'm brushing it. So those curls that are grouped together aren't clustered anymore. So the next step is to brush your hair. So you'll end up with this terrible looking, I don't know, 80s kind of hairdo where it's really frizzy and yeah, the individual curls are just blended into one big mass. But in this way, you really can just see it as a whole, and shaping your cut is a lot easier this way, and this way you can fine-tune it a little bit more, and the hairs that are really too long and sticking out are more noticeable that way. So now you're really shaping it as a whole. So shake it out, and well, that's actually it for cutting it. So now you've cut your hair, it's time to see how it turned out.
Okay, so I'm really happy how it is right now. You already can see that there's so much more volume on top of my head, and it's still the same length, but it just has a lot more volume and model. And I think once I've washed this, my curls will come out much better. So I'm going to take a shower and let's see how it turned out.
So after the shower, I just put in a little bit of argan oil in it, and I just let it dry naturally. And well, right now you can see it's a little bit moist still, but you can already notice there's a lot more of volume while the length still is there. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of tiny curls after showering, but because I sleep with a knot on top of my head at night, after 2 to 3 days my hair gets more like this, and it's more like a wavy textured look to my curls. And I really like the variation in curls, going from tiny curls to really smooth textured curls. It's all fine, so I kind of like that. So that's how I cut my own hair. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Follow our family and subscribe to our channel to be updated on all new uploaded videos.